Hello again, it's me, back with another Showdown in the Badlands review, but this time we've got a whole BlizzCon recap. So, a bunch of stuff happened at BlizzCon today, only a little of it was Hearthstone related, but there was some big news. You can see some very interesting stuff behind me. I want to talk about this first. This is what they're calling catch-up packs. No, not like the sauce, like catching up to the other players in the game. As you can see on the gem in the center, it shows the symbols for March of the Lich King, Festival of Legends, Murder at Castle Nathria, Titans, and Voyage to the Sunken City. That indicates that you will receive cards from every single one of those expansions when you open one of these packs. And as you see right above me, you will receive just so many cards. So many cards. Only if your collection is low, but that's the idea, to catch you back up into the game. So each catch-up pack can contain anywhere between 5 and 50 cards. And the way that works is you'll get 5 cards if you have 75% or more of the standard set. You'll get 50 cards if you have 25% or below of the full standard set, and everything in between is just linear. The most important thing about this is that you'll be getting some for free, and if you purchase the mega bundle, you'll be getting 20 of them with the mega bundle in addition to all the things that you normally get for buying a mega bundle, which makes it a very good deal. Now, essentially, I looked into the pack rate, the pack chances on the website right after they went live, just to do some digging on it and see exactly what the drop rates are. So it looks like you can get up to 10 times as many cards, but the drop rates on epics and legendaries is about 5 times worse. Overall, it's still rather generous, because the way the pity timer on the first 10 packs rule works with this, so essentially when you open a normal pack, within the first 10 packs of any given type of pack, you will get a guaranteed legendary from that set. In a catch-up pack, the first 10 packs you open are guaranteed to have a legendary from every set in the catch-up pack. So your first 10 catch-up packs are guaranteed to contain at least 5 legendaries. Well, wait, actually, I think it's less than 10. I think it's within your first 50 cards, you're guaranteed at least 5 legendaries. So that's 50 cards per set. So it's a little complicated, but essentially, if you look up here at the graphic above me, this is what happened on the BlizzCon stream when they used the mass pack opening tool on 19 packs. 19 of these catch-up packs on a account that didn't have any cards. So they got the guaranteed 5 legendaries, and then every 128 cards or so, they got another guaranteed legendary after that. This person appears to have rolled a little bit better than average. I can see why they would do that. But in general, if you have no or almost no collection in standard, and you are wondering, how do I build up my collection? The answer is catch-up packs now. And you will get catch-up packs as part of the new player and returning player onboarding experience, and you will also get catch-up packs during certain pre-release bundles. I'm assuming it's the 3rd expansion pack of every year is when they're going to offer the catch-up packs, because that's just how it would make sense, because they want to have 5 sets in it. So that's how catch-up packs work, and that will not only help you get into standard, it'll help you build up for duels too. It's definitely not going to help you with twist, but oftentimes in Wild, newer sets have more important cards in them than older sets, aside from some core staples. I'm really excited about this. I have been always telling people to join Hearthstone, and when they ask me how do I build up my collection, I often get frustrated when I realize how difficult it is for them to do that. Now that won't be the case. Anybody who asks, how do I spend, if I want to spend money on one thing in Hearthstone to help me rebuild my collection, I'm going to tell you the Showdown in the Badlands Mega Bundle, because it not only includes 90 packs from the new set, it includes 20 packs, which could contain up to 1,000 cards from the other sets in Standard. Very exciting. Moving on, we've got some Battlegrounds news. I am not a Battlegrounds channel. I'm not going to go over all the Battlegrounds changes, but essentially the big new thing is a mode called Battlegrounds Duos, which will be coming out next year. And essentially it's 2-player Battlegrounds. And not only will 2 players get to play as a team together against other teams of 2, it allows you to do things like swap minions, so you take a minion out of your hand and pass it to your friend. You can do things like ping minions, telling your friends which minion you want them to buy, which is of course including a whole spectate UI where you can see their board state, including their shop state at any time, ping any of the buttons on the screen. Looks really cool. I like Battlegrounds, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Reno, Lone Ranger. Holy crap. He is an 8-mana neutral hero card. And he says, Battle Cry. If your deck has no duplicates, empty the enemy board and limit it to 1 minion for a turn. It's high noon. Great. I hate this card. What can I say? I like playing minions. I like playing quest rewards that put dormant things on the battlefield. What am I supposed to do if I'm trying to freaking play a Sargeras, or I'm trying to play a freaking pirate quest reward and they empty my board? So to be clear, this will delete Sarg portals. This will delete locations. And for the next turn that you take after they play Reno Lone Ranger, you can only have 1 board slot. After that, you'll be able to resume play as normal. But then they'll have this awesome hero power that flips every turn, dealing 2 damage, and either refreshing 2 mana crystals, gaining 4 armor, dealing 1 damage to all enemy minions, giving a random friendly minion +2/+2, discovering a spell, summoning a random 3-drop, or drawing a card. These are all above rate effects for hero powers. And you may be wondering why I'm spending so much time on this one when I didn't spend nearly as much time on any of the other Highlander cards. And that would be because this card does not have a very high condition. It is an 8-mana neutral hero card. Yes, it does say if your deck has no duplicates, but in Duels, your deck starts with no duplicates, for one, and it's hard to draft in a way that keeps you Highlander, absolutely. But any deck that is mostly draw spells, any deck that has lots of ways of getting duplicates out of their deck, like a priest spell pile that's got lots of things like shadow visions and shadow, the other one, can draw to a point where by the time they want to play Reno, he's online. Like, if you're playing Discard Warlock, you're easily able to deck yourself by turn 8. Now, do you want to play this in Discard Warlock? Probably not. Discard Warlock is usually overrunning them with minions before that. But I think anything that is just a complete pile of spells that is mostly draw and generation is going to find this very attractive. And poof, it's just unfortunate. It's a cool card, don't get me wrong, and I like the swaps each turn hero power. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a terror in both in all formats, quite frankly. One other rules clarification that is very important to Duels. There are neutral heroes in Duels. Reno Lone Ranger is a neutral hero card, but to confirm, he doesn't have a class. It's not that he has the neutral class. So if you play this and you were a mage, afterwards you will still be a mage, and you can discover mage cards. If you are a hunter, and you play this, and then you play an arcane spell, activating your arcane flux, which says discover a card from your class, you will see hunter cards. So don't worry about that. That is not a concern. It will be hard to run this card, but I think we will find a way. Moving on, we've got the final rogue reveal. It's Velarok Windblade, a 3-mana 3/3. While this is in your hand, play 3 cards from other classes to reveal Velarok's true form. So it's a little Thief Rogue payoff card here. Thief Rogue has had a place in Duels a couple times. It's been a while, but Rogue has been looking for an identity that isn't just weapons. And then over here we've got Velarok the Deceiver. He's a 3-mana 3/6 charge, and he's a dragon, which is cool. And it says after this attacks, discover a card from another class. It costs 3 less. And the payoff for playing a Thief Road deck is you get a 3-mana 3/6 charge that does Thief Rogue stuff. Great. If we're running this, we're probably running a Discover deck, because Velarok counts as a Discover card after he transforms. And if we're running this, there's a chance that he could be just good as a legendary minion, but I think it's most likely that you would try to run a type of rogue Discover deck with this. It's possible he could find his way into Discover Reno or Excavate Reno. I don't see why not. Yeah. I think this is a fine card. It's not overpowered. It's not crazy. It looks crazy when you just look at the token, but I think it's fine. I think playing 3 cards from other classes is harder than you think to make a vanilla 3-mana 3/3 do something. So moving on, we've got Mezadun, the Fractured. He's a 6-mana 6/5 elemental for mage with Battlecry, draw an elemental, split it into 2 halves. So what does that mean exactly? Well, if you have a Ragnaros in your deck when you play this, you will draw the Ragnaros, and it will become 2 tokens, each of which are exact copies of Ragnaros, having all of the same effects and abilities that Ragnaros has, but they are 4-mana 4/4s. If you draw a Neptulon, you will get 2 5-mana 3/3s. And it goes on. So it rounds down, like most things in Hearthstone. And it essentially allows you to cheat stats into play, in theory. Definitely you're happy to play a 5-mana Neptulon on turn 7 after this. But barring exactly that, or exactly 2 Rags on 8, I'm not seeing it. I like it. Actually, it does do a lot. It really does. But you have to really carve your deck in a very specific way to only have certain elementals. And in Duels, we're not doing big mage. If there was ever a chance for a big elemental mage as a result of this card, the banning of Elixir of Vigor sealed the deal on that one. Put the final nail in the coffin in that one, I should say. And then moving on, we've got the warrior reveals. So we've got Boom Boss Thogrun. He's a 8 mana 7/7 legendary. Battle Cry. Shuffle 3 TNT into your deck. When drawn, blow up a card in the enemy deck, hand, and battlefield. And the TNT, as you can see down there, is just a cast when drawn, destroy a random card in your opponent's hand, deck, and battlefield. Why did we need patchwork on a cast when drawn card? It's cool. It's a cool idea. Like, I've got a bunch of explosives in my deck. I'm planting explosives and then they go off. Yeah, the flavor is great. The flavor of Bomb Warrior has always been great. But this is just going to make Bomb Warrior stronger. And Bomb Warrior sorely needs a nerf in this format. So, I'm just afraid. On the upside, this could destroy bombs in your opponent's deck. But on, in all honesty, an 8 mana 7/7 that doesn't do anything for a couple turns, probably not something we can realistically do in duels. Unless we have an armor Bomb Warrior deck that is just truly able to stall you completely out of the game. This is a good little control tool for warrior decks. I think if a warrior excavate deck makes its way into duels, we might see more of this. You could definitely run this in Bomb Warrior, though I don't know you'd want to, just because you want as many armor cards as possible. It's a 2 mana spell. It says deal 3, 2, and 1 damage to random minions. Quick draw, you choose the targets. Yeah, it's a simple little removal tool, and it's like a cleave, but so much better. It's a cleave that hits 3 minions and splits up the damage in a more effective way. It's really good. It's a good control tool, and I think there's many warrior decks that could find a way to just slot this in. Like, you're running Beast Brand, and this shows up in a bucket along with a Scavenging Buzzard. You're like, yeah, great. Just a little way to clear stuff. We're happy for it. Next up, we've got this Taunt package. Taunt Warrior has made waves in duels in the past, and these are some good cards to go along with it. So down here at the bottom left, we've got Unlucky Powderman. He's a 2 mana 2/2 undead with Taunt and Death Rattle. Give taunt minions in your hand and deck +1/+1. Hand and deck is a pretty spicy addition to this taunt and buff thing. So that's a good card, and it costs 1 mana with Endurance Training. We've got Battle Pickaxe. It's a 3 mana 4/1 weapon. After you play a taunt minion, gain +1 durability. So it's kind of like that old 3 mana 3/2 weapon that gains +1 durability if you have a taunt minion. But you can play the taunt minions after, but it only starts with 1 durability. So you can't use this unless you play it alongside a taunt minion. And earliest that's happening is turn 4, turn 5. I just don't know if it's enough. We'll be happy to draft this card, but I don't think Taunt Warrior wants to include it in the base deck. Detonation Juggernaut, on the other hand, is a 5 mana 3/6 mech with Taunt and Battlecry. Give taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. With Endurance Training, this only costs 3 mana. And wow, this is just so many stats. Do you remember when we ran Conditioning? Conditioning was 2 mana on turn 5. Give all minions in your hand +2/+2. So if we think Conditioning is worth 2 mana, then this is a 3 mana 3/6 taunt. Draw and play a Conditioning. I'm starting to sound like Trump. Don't quote me on that. I like it. Taunt Warrior will definitely like it. And Blast Tortoise, we've got here last, is a 6 mana 2/7 beast with Taunt and Battlecry. Deal damage to all enemy minions equal to this minion's attack. That will definitely synergize with the hand buffs. We've got 2 spells in duels that just give buffs to taunt minions in your hand and copy them. Like, this is gonna be really good. I'm definitely going to look out for Taunt Warrior. If I get offered Warrior on my launch stream, I'm definitely picking it, and I'm playing this. So, look out for Taunt Warrior. Moving on, the Excavate package. So here I've got, like before, the 2 Excavate cards and the treasure. The Excavate treasure we want to cover first is the Azurite Ox. It's a 4-mana 5/5 elemental beast with Battle Cry. Discover 2 8-cost minions. Summon them. Wow. Discover 2 8-cost minions. Summon them. That's really good. However, we can see here, the Warrior Excavate cards are pretty slow, with just 3 mana gain 6 armor, and 3 mana destroy a damaged enemy minion. A 3 mana Execute, and a 3 mana Ironhide are not things we really want to be doing. However, if we're running Bomb Warrior, for example, this Reinforced Plating goes right along with our game plan. We can just throw Reinforced Plating, Blast Charge, and maybe Boom Boss Throw Grun in our deck and be happy with that. But there are some Excavate payoff cards, which are right here. Now, Slagmaw the Slumbering is a card. It is a Hearthstone card, I have been told. Appears to be a 4-mana 16/16 Rush Taunt with Dormant for 8 turns. Excavate to awaken 2 turns sooner. Wowie zowie. So, not only are our Excavate cards 3 mana, and they're 1 mana effects that cost 3 mana, not only is that the case, but we don't want to play them until after we've played this 4 mana do nothing in order to make it do something. And sure, it's our 16/16 Rush Taunt. That does something. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you there. But paying 4 mana to not affect the board in any way so that you can pay 3 mana to barely affect the board so that in 5 turns or less, you get a 16/16 Rush Taunt. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's slow. And it's very slow, and Duels decks need to be fast. So I don't know how much we want to be doing this Slagmaw thing. And even in Standard, with the Excavate cards being so expensive for Warrior, I don't know if this makes the cut in Control Warrior. And then the other card we've been given here is a 7-mana Brawl. But it says, if you've excavated twice, this always wins. So, 7 mana 4/4, Battlecry, destroy all other minions, is what this actually is, if it's activated. Which, that card is an 8 mana 5/5 in Death Knight, and people seem to think that's pretty good. So, yeah, maybe a 7 mana Brawl is worth it, if you always get a 4/4 at the end. But it just feels really slow. Because excavating twice means paying 6 mana, and hopefully you've paid 4 mana before you paid any of that 6 mana, so that you can get your Slagmaw up and running. Yeah. I'm not seeing it, but it's a cool set of cards. It's very splashy. Slagmaw the Slumbering looks cool. There is a signature Slagmaw the Slumbering going out. I didn't put it up on this channel just because it's in the game right now. You can get it just by logging in for free. So, go log in and get your Slagmaw. Wait, that might only be for people who bought the BlizzCon ticket. Sorry. All the people I know did, but that's beside the point. If you like my content, please remember to press my buttons. It really helps. I look forward to seeing everything else that they have to offer at BlizzCon, and I'm really looking forward to get into the Badlands. I hope you all have had as much fun as I did. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.